Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelli.
And today we have a special guest, Miriam. That's okay. Welcome, Miriam, a
Welcome,
Bravoholic.
Miriam.
Another Bravoholic among the
Absolutely.
millions. Yes.
And it was a chance meeting at the Heather McDonald show in Red Bank. We
Yes.
started talking and hit it off right away and kind of spent the rest of the night together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Heather always said, when you want to find your people, go to my shows. And she's so right.
She
It
was
was the
right.
First time I go alone to something. I found you guys.
That's great. That's
Yep.
great.
And cousin Gina was with us too, of course.
Yep. Cousin Gina. So
Yeah.
tonight we're talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode number 2. And this one is called Hot Dog and Hot Mics. Well, I don't know
Very
what the hot
appropriate.
dog. Yeah. We didn't really get to, I mean, just because it's Dennis, we're calling it hot dog. I don't know.
Sure.
The hot
I gotta
dog
say
gang.
though, I like Dennis. I always like Dennis. So I'm rooting for Dennis.
Me too.
I'm just
I
going
like
to say
Dennis
that out
too.
the gate.
Dennis is the best extra for
Yeah.
Bravo ever. He's so chill. He's funny.
Yes.
You know, he doesn't, like, he has money, but he doesn't say it out loud. He's very chill. I really like him. Portia lost. This is the one that got away from her, for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I think that I don't want to say handles because that's not a nice thing to say, but I think he interacts with Portia like appropriately. I think he knows how to navigate a relationship with her very well.
Did you watch Portia Family Matters?
I did.
No, I didn't.
I did.
So
did.
maybe I'm way off.
Yeah.
Listen, but it's not a Dennis problem. I'm just telling you right now. I think Portia, can we talk about Portia Family Matters a little bit? Because
Why
that's,
not?
Yeah.
that's the best hidden secret, because it was out there for everybody to see. It was really jarring how Portia tried to manipulate everything, but she couldn't. She was trying to portray herself some type of way, but she wanted to control everybody in her family. She wasn't even treating her sister kindly, which she never did, to be honest with you. She treats her like one of her employees.
I agree.
And I feel so bad for Lauren. But then she had a cousin as well. And I'm just fast forwarding to the end of the show. There was a session that supposedly it was going to be a meditation, everybody bring together. And then the producers just started like asking the family members, aren't you going to talk about what happened? Like before, they had a huge altercation. She did not get along with Dennis' mom. She did not. It
Yeah.
was terrible. Yes. And it was, she plunged into her to punch his mom.
Did they show a little bit of a flashback of that in last night's episode?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
who the other woman was? And
Yes.
Dennis was like, whoa.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So Dennis, to be honest with you, I think now he knows how to co-parent with her, and he dodged the bullet, I think.
Mm.
But Portia, she lost. I feel like, I know he's a womanizer, and I think he cheated on her. That's what she said.
That's what she
You
said.
know, maybe that happened. But the reason I say that she lost a good one, because she was really, really in love with him.
Yeah.
I never seen her look at a man like she did look at Dennis. Like when they're taking a picture for like the pregnancy pictures, it was really like, I never liked Portia, but I was happy for her.
Right.
Like, despite of me.
Right.
Because I always felt like Portia, she's very funny. Like there is Nene, then Portia. As to funny, she is extremely funny, but she has the other side of her personality that I'm here, you guys are here.
She definitely needs to be the center of attention.
Always.
And she needs to be surrounded by people who will allow that.
And she had a facade, because her, like, you know, before marrying, what is his name, the first guy? Her first husband?
And
Cordell.
I forgot
had-
it too. They reminded me last week.
Had a wild life, according to her tell-all, you know? Like, you would have never guessed that she was in videos, like, you know, rap videos, and she was with R. Kelly. Like, what? She
Yeah.
never mentioned that. So
Yeah.
she was really she really compartmentalized her picture in the franchise. What helped her is her being so funny. She is very funny. But then, like, her coalition with Portia brought the evil side of her. I know that Phaedra, for sure, used her as a pawn, but she had no reason to flip on Candy, because Candy gave her opportunities. in her play, in everything.
Totally
He was
agree.
there with her,
Yes.
like packing her stuff when she was kicked out from Cordell's house.
Right.
Yes.
So for me, like that coalition with Phaedra brought the evil that maybe was always there. I don't know how Bravo still employs Porsche because of that. They really tried to frame Candy.
Well,
Criminal.
look,
It's
but they
criminal.
we talked about this last week. They brought Phaedra back too. They put Phaedra back on Bravo.
And this is what upsets me the most.
Yes.
With their multi-standard. It's not a double standard. It's every shade of standard. And what they did with Kenya. Kenya photoshopped the picture. But then again, what is that compared to criminally accusing someone of drugging them to take advantage of them? Like, there's no comparison. And they put her as a friend off. They gave her a timeout. Like, seriously, they should get a grip. Like, just from the first 2 episodes, like, I am 100% sure we will feel Kenya's other.
Oh, I totally agree.
I'm already mourning it. Like, when I see her.
I think she'll be back, though.
She will be back, but I don't think they should have put her on pause at all. Like, she would have showed up. She would have been confronted by the woman because she's no coward. But they should have kept her in. They should have given her flowers, title pictures. She should be in it all along.
What do you think about this, both of you? Now, so she was asked to leave, put on pause or whatever it was, Kenya, for doing this picture. She is at an event that she is hosting. Production's there. Cameras are up.
Oh, yeah.
Production knew that these pictures were there. And they
100%.
didn't stop it.
Exactly.
They continued to film, and then they slap Kenya on the wrist. Like,
that's what they do.
That's what I don't understand.
That's their formula.
If you know it was wrong, production, you should have shut it down before the tape started rolling.
But that's their formula. They let the talent do whatever they want. They push the envelope. Yes. Look what they did with Brynn. Like, Brynn is being, like, passively promoted. Today, there was, like, virtual reality from Page 6. They were plugging 3 podcasts from Bravo Labs. Brynn was on top. In the middle was Erin and her husband. And at the bottom was Gia. So, and what did Brynn just do? Exactly. What did Brynn just do when she did one of the darkest things ever, too?
She did, too.
Exactly. But that's my point. Like, they don't have a standard. They just push. And I'm sure Brynn was, she was also like, she had some motivation. They gave her incentive to do it. Yes, say it. But then they just hope for the best and they deal with the backlash accordingly. And they were always harsh on Kenya. Like, she was punished because she didn't air her wedding. But then again, here they have their golden goose, Porsche.
Right.
When she got in with Simon, she had 4 weddings off camera.
Right.
And now they're bringing her as the centerpiece.
Yeah.
So
you're
I think
absolutely
she's
right.
the center. I really think it's Shamea.
Yeah, but not yet.
Oh,
I agree with you. I think Shamea is going to take this season for sure.
She already.
But right now, that intro with Porsche in her workout gear and looking at the buildings, and it's like, what is this cinematography on Real Housewives?
First of all,
but I agree with you. Shamea is going to take the season.
I bet my bottom dollar that Porsche never ran a mile in her life. That was. No.
You're absolutely right. And neither have I, for the record.
Me neither. No, I have. But like, you can count with one hand. I'm not criticizing her, but this photo op that they had her, like, with the photo op that they had, like, to show her that she's working out and she is,
Yeah.
Come on. And cry me a river. Cry me a river.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to this episode.
Yeah.
we start off where we left off at Shamea's birthday, where they're all having the conversation, and Shamea asked Drew if she's dating Dennis. And Drew said Porsche knew that she was working with Dennis, and Drew tells Porsche that she reached out to her many times, and Porsche's like, you sent me a couple texts. And she said, well,
reaching out?
Well, it is, but this wasn't a conversation to have over text. She was expecting her to call her.
I think it's a trap.
Well, then she explains how she wound up working with Dennis, that she had opened up for Tamar Braxton, and then Dennis reached out to her management so that she would host the official after party for that. And then he came to her after she did this with this professional pitch on how he could work with her and her music. And her music at this point was really what is helping her get through her divorce with Ralph. I don't think she's dating Dennis. I really don't think she's dating Dennis.
I don't think she's dating Dennis, but I do agree with Porsche that he should not film with Drew.
I do too.
Film with her, because no matter what capacity it's in, if it's a professional capacity or anything otherwise, it's going to cause some ripples.
Ladies, I'm the odd man out here, odd woman out. Karma, who is Porsche to set moral boundaries on anyone? She completely lost all of those the moment she got in with Simon. Period. There is a clear cut break between her and Dennis. There is nothing between her and Dennis. I don't think they're dating or anything, but I'm sure they're like, both of them have mutual interest in being on TV, because Dennis, he can promote his hot dog kingdom.
Yeah.
And then Drew, she has a juicy storyline other than her dry husband. That's not her ex yet. But I would agree with Porsche if Porsche preached, she practiced what she preached. She doesn't. So she got with Simon. He was still married, she says, in paper. Come on. There's the blurred lines are so blurred there. And then she said, oh, but he was separate. I'm not saying that they were not separate, because Fallon also
well, wasn't she pregnant with someone else's child?
She was.
Okay.
And I fell prey of Fallon as well. I believed Fallon. But then there was one time that she came into a podcast, and I was one of the call-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, I realized this woman is lying. Like, her timeline is not messing. So they're all the same. So here, for Porsche to say that to Drew, that's messed up, to film with him. But then again, why? Because he's coming into her show, into her money. Dennis helps her with Pilar, if not foots the whole bill. Right. So I don't think Dennis coming in damages or affects Porsche in a negative way money-wise. I think it's the opposite. But then again, they're not together. She met Simon as the husband of Fallon on TV, on the screen. On the show. So now here she is preaching on Drew. Yeah, what Drew is doing is wrong, but it's not as wrong as what she did. So we can't forget that. So I am totally in. I want more Dennis, more Drew. I want to see their single, and I will download it.
Well, the thing is I understand Portia's point where, I don't want you filming with him because it could mess up what they have, because it's reality TV and there's drama. But I also understand Drew, if this is what's going on in her life right now and she is producing music with him, that makes sense too. But I don't know, something about Drew, there is, I don't agree with Porsche calling her low down and dirty, and I know we'll get there, but there is something about Drew that's just seems a little off for me. I don't know what it is. I don't want to say she's a liar. I don't know if she's a liar. There's just something I'm like, I don't know, man.
Listen, my take on this whole thing is the reason Porsche doesn't want Dennis to film with Drew is because she can't control Dennis if he's filming with Drew. It's a control thing. It's definitely, it's a control thing. It's a control thing.
I totally agree with you.
And listen, I think that because he is her baby daddy, I think she has that right to do that. Because listen, although as far as a moral compass goes, that's a totally separate situation. She was there for Drew when Drew was going through she was having the hard time with Ralph. She's the one who reached out to her and said, do my hairline with me and you can be an ambassador for me. And she did reach out to her. She was trying to help her. She wasn't trying to throw her underneath the bus. And what she's saying to her is, don't film with him. I don't care. She even said, I don't care if you're dating him.
Exactly.
I don't want you filming with him. And I think that she needs to respect that. I think that she needs to respect that.
Yeah.
I think, first of all, just like she is protective of her wallet is not more important than Drew's wallet. First of all, Drew also, she wants a storyline, right?
Well, that's
And-
true. This is going to be
Okay,
a big part of her storyline.
So here's the thing, just as like why everybody should play by Portia's rules. Why? First of all, yes, the control thing. She can't control what Dennis does. She doesn't know if his mom is going to show up. You know what? Karma. Yes, she helped Drew, and so did Candy help her. And what did she do to Candy? She did way worse than what Drew is doing. So for me, it's like her crying and her getting emotional. I think she is really jealous, period. She is jealous because maybe deep down she thought maybe they can work something out right now by the parenting thing, because now she realized how a scam of a guy is Simon. Come on.
No. She saw dollar signs with Simon. I
Exactly.
firmly believe.
Blinded by them. So this is, and she she likes to display that she's the smartest in the room. She knows what she does. Some things, does she know that the year is 365 days yet? Maybe she learned after, because in the beginning of her story with Housewives, it was 265 days.
Oh, that's right.
The year. So, she was totally blinded by the money, and she didn't care the optics. And she said, okay, I won't be in Housewives. I won't need Housewives. She really thought she wouldn't need that. But then when she started going to the airport and seeing that they can't stand in the same line as everybody else, this is what triggered her to what is going on? Well, she got the Wizard of Oz as husband, and now he's in ICE custody. So my point of view is she needs to put her bigger panties and deal with it. And it's not up on her to curb anybody from filming with anybody. It's not Portia's land. As far as I'm concerned, I'm in love with Shamia at first sight. And this is Shamia's land. And I feel like there will be friction because he has been always her sidekick, Portia's sidekick. Now, I don't even think that Portia can fathom all the love that Shamia is getting from everybody.
I did not realize that Portia was 3 hours late to that party until last night's episode. Or I watched it. Yeah.
I did not realize it either.
It was 3 hours. That's effed up.
Yeah, it is effed up.
And I think it was motivated by production as well, but
absolutely.
In Portia's mind, it's okay. She is the star.
Right.
He is the last to arrive. And she saw that, like, if my friend, my best friend, she is receiving the gift of all gifts, I'm not going to go and talk to her right away. I'm going to go mingle, just like Kelli said. I would pretend I've been there and talk to her to the side.
Skirt around the back.
It's unbelievable.
Try to blend in like you've been there a while.
She has no clue. She thinks she's the queen now that Nene is not there anymore.
That's right. That's right.
And for her, I don't know if you guys watched her at Watch What Happens Live. They asked her, who would you like to bring back? She didn't say Nene. She said Kim Zolciak.
She did.
Come on.
Yes, she did. I'm not making this up.
Listen, that's a great way to get me to not watch the show again. I just jumped back in. If Kim Zolciak comes back, I'm out. I can't.
I want Nene
stand
back.
The sight of her. I want Nene back.
I want Nene back just to put Portia in her place, because Portia is funny. Portia is funny, but Nene, you know, her ego got the best of her too.
Yeah, she
and
thought
it was her demise.
The show. Yeah.
I think now she got like
humbled,
a piece of humble pie, but she still knows everybody like loved Nene. Like my favorite scene of all times is when she and what's his name, the fashion guru Dwight, they were in the basement, and then all of a sudden, like, he's lap dancing on Nene. It was hysterical. Like, I'm like, what is going on here? Yeah, I am a proponent of Dennis. I want him to hold a peach or a hot dog. I don't care.
Yeah.
He needs to be part of the show. And Portia has no say in telling anyone. It's messy? Yes, it's messy. But guess what? What is Real Housewives?
That's what it is now.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So no, I'm all for it, and I wish Portia she could have won this. I wish she came showing remorse, acknowledging that it was a mistake. The way she got with Simon, she should have taken her time to know him, not in 30 days get engaged.
She's not going to show any remorse, and she is a true, and listen, most housewives are narcissists. So I don't feel like I'm insulting her by saying this. They're all pretty much narcissists, but that's typical narcissist behavior. Kelly's asking her, why'd you take that woman's man? She's going to immediately get on the defense. I mean, obviously, that's not the way to ask the question anyway, but she is immediately going to get defensive about that because a narcissist will never acknowledge that they did something wrong. She's never going to acknowledge it.
But I was happy with the question.
Sure. I mean, Kelly came in hot.
Yes, Kelly came in hot.
She definitely came in hot. Miriam, I have one question. How do you really feel about Porsche?
You sound like me when I talk about Teresa.
I had the nickname of Captain Twirl. I love Kenya.
I love Kenya too. But honestly, I really like when they went to lunch, Porsche and Kenya, I like this duo. I like them being friends. I like them being on the same side. I don't want to see those two fight.
No, me neither.
They come so hard at people. I don't want to see them fight with each other. It's like, it's almost too intense. So I want them to stay on the same side, please.
You know, Real Housewives of Atlanta, as it was like before all these additions and stuff, it was the only franchise that was really fun when they were all together. Like, look at, like, they don't need to be at odds. And this is their downfall. They misread, like, because the Bolo situation, well, everybody was together, right? And even before, whenever they go, like, it used to be so dark when they would fight. There was, and it was all because of, oh, I'm the queen, you're here, don't, you know, like, I wish they never did that because they are funny.
Yeah.
They know how to read someone, like that scene when they were like checking Phaedra's math in her pregnancy. Like, it's hysterical. And they didn't need to fight with Phaedra. And it was one of the best scenes ever as well. So I love them together. And this is why I'm so mad at Bravo for a slap in the wrist is the maximum that Kenya deserved. And to be honest with you, knowing Kenya, she always said, don't come for me unless I sent for you.
Yeah, she did. That's a great line.
And I heard rumors that there's more than one cast. Even Shamia is at odds with Brit. So Brit is getting under everybody's skin. And even when she thought that Kenya was coming for her, she wasn't really. The way she said it's my second ring was confusing.
Right.
Yeah, and I listen, Kenya's just like, she's just snide sometimes. Like, she's just whatever.
She's just shade assassin.
Yeah, she is. And, you know, you can't, I don't know.
I know.
Okay, so the next scene we see is Angela and Charles Barkley. They're at their house, and Charles is doing all the cooking. And Angela is telling us about how she is the businesswoman and that she is self-made. And
love that.
Yeah. And he's getting annoyed. He's like, he doesn't want to hear, because she's trying to tell her daughter about what had happened at the party and how they were fighting. I mean, he was there and he doesn't want to hear about it. He doesn't want to hear about all this nonsense. And I think that he's going to be the perfect house husband. He's just going to stay out of it. And sometimes that's what they need to just do. Stay out of it.
And other than Jersey, the husbands need to just stay out of it.
Yeah.
I like when husbands get involved.
You do?
I do. The Jersey husband involved. The Salt Lake husbands, terrible.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do it.
They don't know how to do it. But
Peter
honestly,
Thomas,
Charles Oakley can't do anything wrong in my mind.
Oh, he can. He's handsome. And I love the way he takes care of his wife. He had her best interest. He told her about the wig.
Yes, he did.
My God.
I know. I think he's the number one guy in this group for sure.
He is the number one guy. Yeah.
What about Dennis? You guys already forgot about Dennis?
Well, if I have a choice, I will pick the basketball player.
Exactly. It depends on what we're talking about. But I feel like Charles is going to win this one.
No, Charles wins for sure.
Yeah, he wins everything.
Yeah.
All of us.
So What about when, so Kenya and Porsche, they meet up for lunch, right? And they both pull up in their 2022 Rolls Royces. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, talk about like playing it. Those two,
Yep.
just so
The
funny.
flex. The flex
Yeah,
was real.
absolutely. But I did not realize that Porsche was his fifth wife.
Well, neither did Porsche.
Neither did
We
Porsche.
expected to know if Porsche didn't even know.
Porsche thought she was the fourth wife.
Had enough. Well, no offense to anybody who's been married 4 times. Live your life. I'm not judging.
No, we're not laughing about how many times he got married, which that could be a red flag
Right.
sometimes
Yeah.
for some people. But like for Porsche not to know the number that she
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, at that point, he might not even remember how many marriages he's
I
had.
think, yeah. Well, he's older. I give him a slack for not remembering how many wives he had.
I'll be honest, I didn't realize that Porsche wrote a book.
I didn't either. I might have to get it.
No, you're not going to get it. No,
The
you're
best-
not getting it.
The best way to read her book is to pick one of the podcasters roasting her book.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, this is how I read her book, by listening. I watched Mims. It was amazing, a work of art. Like
Well, that's so
you
funny.
laugh. Yeah, her book was horrible. Like even like it wasn't like the sequence wasn't good. Like it was all messed up. And clearly she wanted to hop on the wagon of the Me Too movement because all of a sudden she remembered her. Which, to be honest with you, I don't blame her in that. But I wish she had a ghostwriter, a better ghostwriter, to tell the story, to be more impactful. Like what really upsets me about Porsche is that she has such a platform. She
Yeah.
can do good, and she doesn't.
And
And
her
then-
family has a lot of history, like a lot of
Yeah.
important history her family's a part of. So she,
All she does, she wants to be the face,
yeah.
but she needs to be the boots on the ground. She has such a big platform,
Yeah.
and she never used it like the way she
She
could.
could have, yeah.
Yeah.
And what happens next? Then we see Kelli and Lamont, her publicist. They go into this new space that she's going to make her next location. And Al, her project manager, shows up and lets her know that they're not going to be able to open when she's planning on opening. And she does not want to hear that. Listen, I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either. Did I understand this right? Did she say that her only location has closed down? Her soon-to-be ex-husband closed her only location down.
Well,
So
she opened another location though. So he
so there
opened.
is currently one open?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's what I was confused about.
Yes.
The main one.
It was the
closed
main
down.
one. Yes.
Okay. And now she's opening this other one. So she'll have 2 open.
And she
One
wants
which
this
has
one to
closed.
be like the model, like the flagship one for all the rest of them.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I admire her work ethic,
Me too.
but 17 bags for her
That
daughter.
was a lot.
I know.
That was a lot. I wish, like, listen, I love bags, but especially going through what she went through and being self-made like she is. I feel like she is the real deal. This is where I think she should be more thoughtful in what she gives her daughters. Give something for legacy. Give her one Birkin, one bag, one Chanel, but then give her a piece of land or something.
Right.
I feel like, so that her daughters really learn from her.
Yeah.
Maybe that was because of the show she did that. I don't know
I'm
if
sure
she
it
had
was.
given her before, but even for the sake of the show, I wish he did that because they can always give us a lesson,
Right.
They can always teach us something.
I'm sure that was for the show.
Yeah, because she even says that she's looking to build generational wealth for her children.
Yeah.
And, I think of Giselle because that's what Giselle has, Giselle's father wanted that. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess Miriam doesn't like Giselle.
I am no Giselle fan.
With you, Miriam. I wasn't either, but I loved her this season, and I love her without Robin. They better never bring Robin back because I absolutely loved Giselle this season.
Listen, Giselle got a little humble pie, but she is one of the most hypocritical housewives ever. Her talk about double standard. They casticized Monique. I'm not condoning violence.
I agree with you.
I'm not condoning violence, but for them, the judgment fits according to who they like and who they don't. Then
Absolutely.
they have fast forward Mia assaulting Wendy, but they don't like Wendy. So it's okay for Wendy to get a drink thrown at her, a bag thrown at her. It's okay. And they kept, but I'm telling you, karma. And then for Miss Mia to curse her daughters and she says nothing, it takes her a while to absorb that. Shame on her.
No, I agree with you. That was completely hypocritical because I'm a huge Wendy fan and I've liked her since the beginning. And when Mia did that, they were in Miami, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Giselle and Robin completely defended Mia in that moment.
Listen, this is like a sidebar story. Remember Bravo Shade Room?
Yes.
Yes. So they had the gem of Kate Chastain.
Mm-hmm.
With the horrible Hannah Berner and Giselle and Porsche. Well, Porsche was still funny there. But what dissolved that quad group was Giselle. She threw shade at Kate in a way that was so uncalled for. She said, well, Kate, they were talking about orgies, I think. She goes, well, let's ask the expert. So, Kate, tell us. And then Kate looked at her. She said, excuse me, why am I an expert? She goes, oh, because of the industry that you work at. She goes, I think you don't understand the industry. I was. So after that, Kate never came back.
I remember that. And I remember Kate basically saying that she doesn't like the housewives thing. Like that's not how she rolls.
Yes.
She's not throwing shade. And she also felt like they heavily influenced Hannah. And she felt like it was, excuse me, all three of them basically coming at her at one point.
Hannah is a nut job.
Hannah was heavily influenced by Porsche and Giselle and Porsche were playing it up hard.
And I could not believe that she was there, first of all. I don't know why. Like, she wasn't iconic in Summer House.
No, I think she got that because she's a comedian, and I thought that they thought that she'd bring comedy to it, which it would have been great, but
I think she has connections.
She went the other way with the drama and the shade and it didn't work. The show didn't work. It was a bad mix of people.
Hannah, like you can say, as much as I hate her, yes, Giselle is the face of Potomac. Porsche can be the face. She's an icon of
Atlanta.
The Rushmore Mountains of Atlanta. Okay. Kate, nobody knows how to do confessionals like Kate. Yeah. No one, no housewife.
Right.
She is witty, funny, with that resting bitch face that she has. She tells it. Hannah? Who's Hannah? Why was Hannah there? Yeah.
And the thing is that at the time they put her on, she did not have a good look on Summer House. When she left Summer House, she was not a fan fave whatsoever. It looked like she completely set Luke up. Like it just wasn't a good look. So it is interesting timing that she got that show because she was not a fan fave.
She set Sierra up, but that's another day. You guys, like, I know we're going everywhere, but I think she set
we'll have to get into that another time.
Yeah.
All right. So next on Atlanta, we see Britt and Mike, her husband. We find out that they got married during COVID, and Britt is in the insurance industry. She's talking about if they want to have a baby in the house or in the new house, in this house or in the new house.
And they're going to plan a wedding ceremony, right?
Well, yes, and Britt's worried about her mom. She wants her mom to have a room in her house.
But not right next to their room.
Not right next to their room. And Mike already has
that's very clear.
Yes, Mike already has a 15-year-old son, so they're going to do IVF because he wants to be a girl dad. What? You're going to do IVF so that he can be a girl dad?
I'll tell you what, I don't think they're the only ones doing this. I think that this is a new wave for people. And I just want to say this. I want to apologize because last week I said that Mike gave me gay best friend vibes. He does not. I really feel bad that I said that because he does not give me that vibe anymore. Like I do think that they have a genuine marriage and they're in love.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can pick the sex of the embryo.
Yeah.
Before implanting. So yeah.
I think people are doing that a lot these days. I agree with you. It's foreign to us because
yes, it is.
People our age who did IVF weren't doing it for that reason.
Right. They were doing it to have a baby because that's the
they
only
couldn't
way
get
they
pregnant.
Right. Then we see Shamia goes to visit Shadina, and Shadina is her daughter's surrogate.
That was a tough scene, huh?
That was a very tough scene. We find out that she was also Candy's surrogate, and she has an agency. It's not that just that she's a surrogate. She has a surrogate agency where she finds other surrogates.
With Dr. Jackie. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Dr. Jackie recommended her to Candy, and then Candy recommended her to Shamia.
Yeah.
You know, she had told us that her daughter was born prematurely, but I didn't realize it was because Shadina was diagnosed with a very aggressive breast cancer when she was 32 weeks pregnant, and they had to deliver the baby. And it was very sad to see that whole scene because they're both feeling guilty.
That was real.
Yeah,
it was
real.
Absolutely real. And then to hear that Shamia just had an ectopic pregnancy on top of all of this, like this poor woman cannot get a break.
No, from what I understand, that is excruciatingly painful.
Yes.
And this is why we say they don't need to produce. I feel like everybody's going through something.
Yes.
It's all about just open up. Shamia, she is the most unassuming person on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even when Andy was being shady to her on Watch What Happens Live, say, oh, she called you a lapdog. And she goes, oh, when I saw that dog, I want his life. And then she goes, like, she's amazing. And she has all the wealth in the world. And this is just to show that, you know, money is not everything. Because it doesn't matter if you have all the money in the world, still things can happen. That was one of the rawest moments I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
It was really shocking. I'm so thankful they shared, you know, because...
Definitely.
Because people keep saying, oh, I wish I had Shamia's life. You know, they think her life is perfect, which, you know, it's close to, but she also goes through real things, which are, you know, beyond the power of money.
Right.
Absolutely. But while we're talking about money, what about the elevator to her closet? I mean, have you ever? I mean, next level. It's just next level.
Nobody knew. Not even Cynthia. Because Cynthia said every housewife going into Shamia's house were saying, wow. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody knew how wealthy Shamia was because they were blinded by her sidekickness to Porsche.
Yeah. But like they say, wealth whispers and money talks. Like,
that's right.
Yes.
I mean, she certainly is still whispering because she's so humble and so real. And that's what we want in a house. That's what I want in a housewife. You know,
yes.
I like
she and her husband seem like they're solid. Like, you know, he just seems like a cool guy.
Shamia, she became my favorite friend of any show when she read Phaedra for Filth. She said, I have a ring. Are you putting money in his box? When Apollo was going to jail, jail. Yeah, that was, she can hold her own.
She's been around a long time, huh?
She has been.
All through. She's close friends with Candy.
Yeah.
Even at that moment that they were like at odds, Candy being attacked and accused by Porsche. And Porsche, even when, you know, like when she figured what Phaedra was doing, she was even shutting Shamia down. Telling her, just be here. She was shushing her down because Shamia was telling her all along, be careful of Phaedra. Yeah. She's dangerous.
Yeah.
And I love Shamia. Oh my God.
Yeah, me
I can't
too.
believe they waited all this time to give her a
I
peach.
didn't know how I was going to feel about her having a peach, but I think she's great. I'm so happy they made that choice. I mean, what a way to pivot after Candy leaving because they had to do something.
She blew us away. She blew us away.
They had to do something because Candy was a big loss. That's a big loss.
I think Candy has something to do with it.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, because she's very close with Andy.
Yeah.
She is maybe the only housewife other than LVP that really left the show because she wanted to. Right. Because they have so much going on. And I'm sure she tells him, this person, and I think she told him, it's about time Shamia holds a peach.
Well, they offered it to Shamia, and Shamia's husband didn't want it. So it's not that it wasn't offered to her. It was that her husband didn't want it.
The timing wasn't there.
Right.
The timing wasn't there.
Yeah.
Maybe now they have this new house. They've been in this house for how many years? Maybe 5. I don't know. I might be mistaken.
I think 4 or 5 years. It's not been that long. But yeah, I love everything about Shamia. I totally agree with you guys.
Everything. Please don't disappoint us, Shamia. Please.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Then we see Kelli and Britt get together with their dogs. I really did not need to see that.
It was kind of it was kind of like a filler scene.
No pun intended.
There is a lot of filler going on between those two.
Like,
yeah, you're right.
oh my God. You know, this is the problem with fillers. I think when they first do it, they do it right. But then when they keep adding, it keeps adding. They got to a point I cannot, I can't differentiate both of them, Britt and Kelli. And even Toya, she shaded them. Like, it's a lot of filler and Botox. A lot.
Yeah, and you know,
two of them, they shouldn't film together alone. They need other women.
Last
We need
week
their
they
names.
showed a picture of the cover of Kelly's cookbook, and it looks nothing like. I honestly think she also got a chin implant.
She
looks to me like she's got a chin implant as well, which, you know, I have a horrible chin, so if I could afford one, I'd probably do it too. But she looks completely different than what she looked like on the cover of that cookbook.
Yeah, all of them look different. I bumped into a YouTube video of Mia in Say Yes to the Dress.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Clips of that.
She was gorgeous.
She was gorgeous.
She was gorgeous.
She's got the same look that Kelli and Britt have.
This is why I'm mentioning it. I promise I don't want to go around the world, a Bravo world, but like, I think it's the same doctor. I think it's the same.
Well, Mia lives in Atlanta half the time, right?
Yeah, because of
so it probably is because
ink
of ink.
permanent.
Yeah. So that's when we find out when Kelli and Britt are talking that her ex took $500,000 out of her company when she was on a birthday trip in Tulum. And that must be when he closed her store or forced it to close because he took all that money out of it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Crazy. And it's very, I feel like it happens more than we know all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we see Drew's having a private training session with her trainer Sanchez, and Angela shows up and Shamia shows up too. And they're talking about Ralph and the drama that's going on with Ralph and child support. And, you know, she doesn't want any drama, but there is drama. I mean, there's always, ever since Ralph has been around, there's been drama. So,
yeah.
Oh,
he was always
nasty.
Yeah.
He is nasty.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
Ralph is no good.
No good.
I thought it was interesting that Angela felt the need to tell Shamia that she is Portia's mouthpiece.
Well, we love Shamia, but Shamia, she's really the best friend anyone could ask for.
But Portia doesn't need a mouthpiece. She has her own mouth.
She doesn't need, but she has a lot of them.
Does fine by herself.
Yeah, she really doesn't need one.
But Shamia's...
She has been one. Come on. She has been. Like, let's not, like, yeah, we love Shamia. I'm in love with Shamia. I'm happy she's going to be the center. She's the glue. Yes. But she gives Portia a lot of slack. And I think it's because Portia, to her, is like family. They know each other since high school.
Yeah. No, before high school.
Even before.
She said like 15, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. I feel like this is the reason why. But I don't think it's the same from Portia. Portia, she takes advantage of her kindness. And she has been her mouthpiece, yeah. I don't fault her for saying what she said because it's her friend. But yeah, she has been, you know? Yeah. And she's moving the story. I'm glad she did.
Yeah. But Britt came in a little hot with all. No, that was Angela saying all that, wasn't it?
It was Angela.
Yeah, that wasn't even Britt. That was Angela.
Yeah, and Angela, she was holding Drew accountable. She said because Drew was saying, but Portia didn't tell me, and then she said, no, but she told you at the party. Which brings me to this point. I am 100% sure that Portia already knew that Drew and Dennis are hanging out. She kept that for the cameras.
I agree with you. Drew said, I text you. Portia probably ignored those text messages and was like, we'll handle this on the...
I am going to drag you on the show. I'm going to drag in the show. Yes. With me, it's not working. I don't think Drew is doing anything wrong. He's a free man.
Yeah. Listen, who cares? I really don't think they're dating. I do think they're just making music together. And if that's who approached her to get her music out there, listen, it's hard enough to make it in that business. And she's been in the business a long time. So she's going to take any opportunity that comes her way. I'm still just on the fence with her, though.
You know, Shamia brought a good point. She's saying that Atlanta is the mecca of musical producers, and there are way far, like, there's like really successful people that Drew could have teamed up with. This is where I think, where is the mutual interest of Drew and Dennis? Dennis, he wants back on the camera. He wants it.
He does like to be on the cameras.
Why not? Like, everybody's hustling. It's a big platform, and he wasn't able to really take advantage of it because of Porsche Family Matters and what happened.
Yeah.
And if he can, if he finds a window.
How many episodes was it?
Not many, but
was it like a 3 or 4 episode thing?
Maybe 6.
All right, but something I could watch quickly.
Yes. You will see how, like, Porsche, it was like she started up and then she went down.
Yeah.
And she was horrible. And like that fight, like, doesn't matter. Like, why she's lunging on her at her mother-in-law. Like, you know, you're good with your words, Porsche. They sting like poison. Like, you don't need to use your hands.
Right.
But we know her to run after people down the alley. Did we forget Jamie? Like, that's who she is, really.
Yeah.
She pulled Kenya in the reunion stage. Like, her hair. Yeah, Porsche, I'm sorry, she's violent. She has been. I don't know how many anger management she took because we only saw one on the show.
Yeah. That's right. Remember that?
Like Candy, she said one session. So
I think that they need to put an anger management clause in all of these contracts. All of these ladies need it. Every single housewife. I need it.
Well, me too.
Especially when I talk about them. They all need anger management.
I was yelling at the TV yesterday, so
I can't even. I put like when I'm cooking dinner or something, I'll just, like, if there's nothing on that I like want to watch, like, because I can't concentrate, so I can't like watch something that we're gonna recap. So sometimes I'll put like old reruns on of New Jersey Housewives because New Jersey's near and dear. Like, that's my fave. I'm from Jersey. I love Jersey, but I wind up doing the same thing. I get so furious, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I just watched a rerun. That season 6 that people say was the worst season, I didn't mind those twins from Colt's Neck. I liked the twins.
I love them. But we know who didn't love them. Clink, clink.
Exactly. But Teresa and Melissa and Joe Gorga were all getting along. They were getting along until fucking Louis came along and wrecked everything. He wrecked everything. He got in her ear. He was talking smack about her brother, saying, you know, they came on the show behind your back. He is the problem.
I don't think he is the problem.
Crazy.
I think he complements the problem.
Yeah.
Because Teresa, till this day, she cannot forgive Melissa for coming on the show.
I know.
Without her. She didn't want her in the show. She didn't want to film them. She was like, they were close. Her and Joe Gorga, they were close. As soon as he came on the show, if they are in a family party, she doesn't want to be near her brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I know, but I get so mad and I feel myself getting so angry. And I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? What am I doing?
I find myself doing
my family, for crying out loud. They don't even make me so annoyed.
And this is what I say.
Sometimes they do.
The multi-standard. Like, I laugh when they say, she went to jail in the show. Well, she did something to go to jail.
She had no choice.
She had no choice. It's not like she committed tax fraud for the show, for the storyline. No, that's not it. And this is where me and all the tree huggers, we get friction. And I think people will drag this, because I cannot stand her. And she is very like, I think Teresa, she is good with Joe when she's alone, when she's in need.
Yes.
When she was without
Louis.
Juicy Joe. No. When they got along is because Juicy Joe was being deported after he went to jail.
Yes.
This is when she was with their brother. When she met a con artist, allegedly, allegedly. But they're so, like, I feel like, I think Bravo still have her in her good graces with Teresa, because that sandcastle is bound to fall down. It's just
And
a matter
Bravo
of
wants
time.
to be there with the cameras. That's
wanna be there with
probably
the
why
camera.
this show's on pause. They're waiting for this all to crumble so
It
they can
is.
go in with their
The
cameras.
lawsuits,
Yeah.
we can't count them. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot. Yeah.
That's
so
you're absolutely right. That is why they're keeping her around, because this woman can blame Bravo for the heartache she's gone through in her life, because they're right there with the cameras.
Well, but she made a lot of money, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but where is it?
I think Louis spent it.
I think Louis spent it.
I think he spent it.
I can't believe she didn't do a prenup. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
I can't.
I mean,
And to
I
think
can't
she
even.
did one before she married Juicy Joe.
Yeah, I mean, gee, you're gonna go to law school? Like, you didn't encourage your mother to do a prenup? Come on.
Gia is a mini
Gia might have
Teresa.
been the only one she would have listened to about it.
Gia is a mini Teresa.
She is.
She thinks like her mom, same standards, same everything. She's above everybody. The way she's so disrespectful with her godfather,
Yep.
her uncle,
No,
like, you
if
know, when
my
she's
kids
rolling her
ever
eyes.
talk
Oh,
to-
God.
and my daughter can be very strong-willed with her mouth, and she, but if she ever spoke to somebody the way Gia spoke to Joe Gorga, I don't even know
That
what
was
I would do. I was
heartbreaking.
mortified.
It was
Mortified.
horrible. Oh my God. I was mortified. Like, it was terrible that day, you know?
Yeah, like that was so disrespectful. I can't even believe that.
Yeah. But just to
That
show
I
Bravo
always-
has multi shades of standards.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what they're doing now and clap.
Back
Yeah.
to Atlanta.
Back to Atlanta. Sorry.
Come on back.
I always
Gotta
bring it to
keep
me
going.
in there somewhere.
So it really actually ends with Porsche and Dennis together with Pilar at the little play place, and Portia's talking to Dennis about him working with Drew, and Dennis said that he wants to use the platform for promotion. And
So basically, he wants to be on camera with Drew.
right.
Yeah. I see no shame in there.
We'll have to see what happens, what plays out. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know Shamia just dropped a new song recently.
Shamia?
Yes, Shamia just dropped a new song, so we should take a listen to it.
Yeah.
He is a triple threat. She's amazing. She's very talented. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, it was last week before her birthday party when she and her mom were in the hallway like talking as she started singing. Rain,
Yeah.
rain,
but
go away.
she has a voice. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
like
she just started singing a cappella, Rain, Rain, Go Away, and like this beautiful,
because she has the money, you know, but she is really, truly talented. Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
But I hope you guys come around and be like, Dennis on camera proponents, because to be honest with you, it's not up to Porsche.
No, I
Yeah,
think he's going to do it. I mean, it sounds to me like he's going to do it. He doesn't seem like he backs down to her, that's for sure.
I hope he doesn't back down. Why would he? He's supporting their daughter. He has, a hot dog kingdom. This is a big platform. Yeah, let me dabble on music.
Yeah.
Everybody does it. Like, they're all hustlers. They all try new things all the time. He has no standing to say anything or dictate anything. Dennis owes her nothing. They're not in a relationship.
Right.
If they're in a relationship, that's another story.
Right.
But no, they are co-parents and they're not married. And Drew is an artist and he wants to be a music producer.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
So-
hopefully they can film and Portia is not brought up. But I think, like what Wendy said, it definitely comes down to control. She can't control what they're going to talk about, what he's going to say.
But also, Portia might be pretending not to want this, because the more they talk about Drew and Dennis, the less they're going to talk about the elephant in the room, Simon Guobadia.
Yeah.
So she is very, like, even her tears, she was trying to manipulate
Yeah.
Dennis. She knows what she's doing, even because I'm 100% sure if she really had a problem, she would have put a kibosh on it before cameras went on, because she knew that they were hanging around. Like, Atlanta is big and small at the same time. Like they run in the same circles, these people.
Definitely run in the same
So
circle.
she knew. And in her mind was like, isn't it better for me to pose like they are doing me dirty because he's my baby daddy? And like she is all of a sudden the victim.
Yeah, she wants to be the victim for sure.
She wants to be the victim. She's been portraying herself as the victim, that now she's rising from the ashes. She's a marathoner now. I don't even think she goes to the gym. Like they have procedures. They do procedures there. Do you guys remember Kim Zolciak eating
the
pizza while
pizza.
doing it? That's how they get their bodies, you know?
I wish I had money.
Me
'Cause
too.
That's
For
exactly
that,
what I would do.
that's my
exactly
dream.
what I would do.
That's my dream.
Is that all you had for Atlanta? Because I have a question.
Yeah, that's all I have.
What are your takes on JT and Vanita on Southern Charm? Because this is getting very interesting. Like his girlfriend has gone on social media calling bullshit that Vanita did not know he had a girlfriend.
Even before the girlfriend came, I have lots of thoughts that I'm a Bravoholic, so I watched that closely. Vanita, she tried to say that producers, they changed the sequence of events.
Yes, she
that
did say that.
the Branzino dinner happened after the Bahamas.
Right,
But
right.
even when in her talking head in the Bahamas, he said that when she straddled over him, he told her, I have a girlfriend.
Right.
So the girl knew Vanita is looking
It's
very
not
bad.
a good look.
Not a good look at all. I don't know if she's doing this because she's really into him or if it's because of a storyline. Let's face it, there is no real connection between her and anybody from the cast. I think when she was brought on.
She's very good friends with Leva, but Leva's not on a lot. And I think she's very good friends with Madison, but Madison's got the whole trying to get pregnant, husband may have cancer, God forbid. Like, so you're right. Like I think it's been hard for Vanita to kind of find her way. So yeah,
Yes.
I think she was maybe coming on strong with this to have
Vanita came to the forefront when there was that controversy about Catherine Dennis and what she said online.
Well, yeah.
You know,
yeah,
she wasn't even a friend she was a friend of a friend.
Right.
So this is how, and they wanted the cast to be diverse.
Yes.
But to be honest with you, Southern Charm, we know it's not diverse. So this is why, like, I don't think maybe she developed friendships with the coworkers, but leave that all aside. I love her. She's beautiful. She's trendy. She's everything. But for her now to say that, to blame JT, that maybe he led her on to thinking it was mutual, but he posted something today showing that his girlfriend, she made a scene in the season when he was looking at the portrait that his mom and someone else, that person, the other lady in the room, is his girlfriend.
Okay.
So the mom knows. It's like maybe he didn't tell the whole cast that he had a girlfriend. Maybe they were not really girlfriend and boyfriend then, because, maybe it takes time for them to say they're exclusive.
Yeah, right. They could have been in the talking stage for months, like kids these days.
Yes. And I think he goes, okay, so what? Let me be flirtatious with Vanita. But then she was gunning in and she said it. Why will I wait for a guy to ask me out? I will ask him out. He comes to her house on dinner with empty-handed. Where are his Southern manners?
Yes.
He didn't bring dessert. He didn't bring her flour. He came, he ate her dinner, drank her liquor, and said, sorry, I have a girlfriend. And now she's saying, he sends all these long texts. But while she is texting him, like she didn't take no for no. Vanita, I'm so disappointed.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because I don't know if you guys saw this, but somebody's now coming out and saying that they're Molly's boyfriend. And Molly had a boyfriend the whole time she was filming. And here she was pretending that she was single and not coming on to Shep, but showing interest in Shep. And the guy basically says, she cheated on me because I just saw that she's going to kiss Shep this season.
Wow.
And she said she'd been celibate for a year. Listen, this guy could be full of shit too. I just thought that it was very interesting that now we have two people on the show who allegedly have significant others that they weren't talking about. I mean, JT's saying it now, but he wasn't. He wasn't in the beginning.
Yeah, maybe he's, you never know. Like, it's hard to bring, like, his girlfriend is not part of the cast. Just think about it. Like, I'm going to be devil's advocate. Listen, JT has 99 problems. You know, he does. I'm not saying he's far from perfect. But just think about it. It's a new relationship. She's not part of the cast. Maybe, you know, and then, okay, let's have a flirtatious thing. But when push come to shove, he stopped her in her tracks, period. And to be honest with you, that's good. That's a good quality, because so many would have went all in, you know.
Sure.
For
Not
sure.
too many men would have stopped her.
Not too many men would have stopped. So this is why I'm saying this is not one of his 99 problems.
Right.
He has 99 problems. This is not one of them. But I think it's the whole vibe of the show. And speaking of Molly, even if Molly had a boyfriend, Molly is not the one going after them. It's when it's first was Madison telling her, you and Whitney.
Yeah.
They're pushing her and she's just playing along. But you can see that she's not being aggressive. She is, you know, so even if that's the truth that she has a boyfriend, I don't think like that's shocking, because she wasn't playing the part that she's all into. Right. She's moving from one to other, and she even said like it feels like you know, 5th grade. Everybody's like pushing me towards Shep. Which, can we talk about Shep?
Who's pushing their friend towards Shep is what I want to know.
Not friend.
Not a
friend, man.
Not a friend.
He's great for TV, but I don't ever want any of my friends to date him, ever.
Shep, he was trying all the time to put words in Sienna's mouth. Justice for Sienna. Period. End of story. Because everybody was saying she's thirsty. Now they're trying to portray her as this gold digger. Hello, if she was thirsty, well, all of them are. Look what they do for a living. But then again, she would have played along. She was trying to avoid Shep like the plague. He wanted to have a conversation with her on camera. And he kept saying, but it was love. You have to admit that. She goes, no, it was a good time. Like it was like,
cringy.
It really felt cringy, but to the point like, it's like someone trying to groom someone. She's over age, you know, but the way he was like trying to put words in her mouth, and it's terrible.
That Shep has gotten such a bad rap, rightfully so, and justified for being a player and not a good boyfriend to Taylor. He just looked horrible, that he wanted this to be his redemption season. He wanted to get sympathy, and he orchestrated this whole thing. And Sienna was like, fuck yeah, I'll be along for the ride. I'll be on the show.
He wanted his trophy.
Like, whether they had a conversation or not, I think he wanted to be the victim this season. He wanted that sympathy from the viewers. And she was like, okay.
I think the sympathy card came along when it really went down. No way on earth he will take, like Shep. His ego is up there. He never worked a day in his life. No. Like, this is his work, being on a TV show.
He's a trust fund.
He is a trust fund baby. He keeps traveling. Like, just the day that when we thought that he was proposing to Taylor and he was proposing her to travel with him, she leaves her job. Like, Taylor. And like, I can't. So he is like, he wanted his trophy girlfriend. He would never have went to length. I don't ever think he would have took her to the altar. They are from two different backgrounds.
I don't think he's ever going to get married, Shep. And quite honestly, I don't think he should.
Well,
and
I don't think that's the reason with Sienna.
Not get married. Whitney shouldn't get married, but Whitney better have a kid, because who is going to inherit all of that when something happens to him? Whitney is 60 years old. Whitney is 60 years old, or nearing 60. I'm not going to
say it, but I think he has hidden skeletons.
You think?
Because he could have bought a wife just for the face of it. He doesn't even want to do
old. He's 56 years old. So he's not strong. I'm sorry.
They're all alcoholics, let's face it. All of them. In different variations.
I mean, how old's Shep? Shep's in his 40s, right?
Yeah, he went to school with Teddy.
Yeah. I think 47 he must be. 47. He's in the late 40s. Still living like Peter Pan life.
Oh, Peter Pan. Every one of them.
All of them. All of them. The one that was trying to change blew up in his face.
I mean, listen, Whitney better have a kid though, because who the hell is going to inherit all this?
I don't think anyone will. He's gonna burn that down. It's gonna go somewhere. I don't know. Whitney is the
Who's
lost
to
cause.
say he doesn't have a kid anyway out
I
there?
don't think
Point.
so.
I
If
don't,
he
because
had a
Patricia
kid,
always talks about being a grandma and having grandkids.
yeah.
But you
I
know,
think
maybe
that
she
ship has
doesn't.
sailed.
She doesn't know.
Because let's
yeah.
face it, if he wants to marry someone, like look at his age, he's gonna look at the very young, like in early
Yeah.
teens. Like I don't even like. He is the producer. He
Yeah,
makes
he
sure
started.
he's
He
always in the
created the
background.
show.
Yeah, he's in the background. He doesn't want the shine, the light shining in his life.
He has never been at one reunion for that show. Not one.
Yeah,
Why
he's the
would he?
friend of.
He doesn't want to be in the spotlight.
He
Right.
doesn't want to answer to anything.
He should be at this year's reunion after what he was saying when he was drunk, right? When he was
My
saying to
God.
Shep, "You're not rich enough for her."
Well, but that's true. Maybe she was like,
I don't know if that's true. Listen, she's Miss Bahamas. I don't think he totally lied about the whole thing that she, went into his DMs. He went into hers.
yes.
I
No, but
mean,
this is why they met in Raya. You know, Raya, it's
yeah,
only the
yes.
top tier money people
Yeah.
in there, and
Yeah.
only by invitation they join. So I think she's running
you
with
have to be
ballers,
approved.
and then they have to get invited and then approved. And I think like Shep, he portrays himself to be rich, but he's stingy. Like, why wouldn't
Well,
he
listen,
pay for?
he is a trust fund baby, but he could be on an allowance from his parents.
Yes,
He
exactly.
really could. Even though he's 44 years old, he didn't make that money. His parents made that money. So they might be controlling his allocation.
How much he can take.
Yeah.
So he's being taking drips because they know if he gets everything in a lump sum, he will burn it down.
Right.
Yes, you're right. And this is why wouldn't he pay for a ticket from the Bahamas to Charleston? Excuse me? If you're that rich, like why not? And when he told Taylor to travel with him, that was so irresponsible. He was making her quit her job, her livelihood. And she thought that they were endgame. And it blew up in her face. She should have never done that. And this is where women should say, hey, listen, you want me to travel with you in the world? This is how much I make. I need the livelihood.
Right.
Yeah. Are you going
I
to
can't
give
just
me
leave my
my
job.
salary?
Right.
I can leave my job just to be your companion.
Right. You're not
And I don't
giving
think-
me, like, you're not promising me anything. You're not.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
This is where women sell themselves so freaking short.
Right.
Like, why?
That's why the Angela and Britt and Kelli on Atlanta, like, these are self-made women. I love that.
I love that.
I mean, Angela, you just fucking hit the jackpot by marrying Charles Oakley. God bless you. But self-made women.
Self-made woman, yeah.
I love that. And even Candy when she was on.
Absolutely. Candy was like one of the first to, I mean, listen, Vicky Gunvalson started all this and she did her thing with her insurance.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
But Candy definitely came into Atlanta and it was like she was like one of the first Atlanta housewives
Changed
that
the
didn't
game.
just marry rich.
Right.
She's like worldwide.
Yeah.
She is.
And was when she first came on, I'm like, she's talking about TLC. And who else?
Her songs, like she has Ed Sheeran's, like
Destiny's Child. Like
she wrote Ed Sheeran's. She's still like till now she makes hits.
Yeah.
Shape of You. She wrote that song. So every time you listen to Shape of You, Ed Sheeran's song.
Yeah.
She is cha-ching.
Yeah. God
Money.
bless her, man. Yeah.
And now she's trying to get a Tony. She
she'll
really
get
like.
it.
I am happy for her because she's focusing on her goal beyond Atlanta. Atlanta really, I feel like, used to pull her back.
Yeah.
She
was never messy, Candy. She never wanted to be. Remember her first season when Nene came hard at her somewhere, and she was like, "You better back off."
Because Nene was intimidated with her power.
For sure, and her money.
Definitely.
For sure. Nene probably did not like Candy coming on the scene.
She doesn't like anybody coming with accolades. She didn't like when Kenya came to the show because she's Miss USA, you know, and she's been in movies. Like, talk all you want about Kenya. Kenya, she's been something before the show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Candy, she was a powerhouse. Like she makes hits. You know, she's talented, she's kind, she employs all her family, she treats them as equal, very unlike Porsche. He never, like when Candy and the Gang, I love that show. It was really funny and messy. It was like a sitcom, but it was a real life sitcom.
To be honest with you, I couldn't watch it because I cannot stand her mother.
Yeah, her mom.
I just
yeah,
can't stand her mother.
Yeah,
I thought her mother was
so
so terrible to Todd, and her mother was terrible to Todd's mother. Todd's mother was sweet, and I just felt like Mama Joyce was so rude to her.
Yeah, she's eating crow because they're still together. They are endgame.
And poor Todd's mom done passed away, and you know, she was never kind to her.
Yeah. No, but the show, it was like they had so many characters. It was really funny. Yeah, I'm so mad that they didn't give it, like, sometimes there are shows like Southern Hospitality, like it picked up in the third season, really.
Yes. Yeah, you got to give it time.
Gotta give it time, but they were funny. They were really funny, and she treated them as equal, and they were showing the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
She wasn't masking anything, and this is what you want in a show, you know? The restaurant business is hard. Not easy.
It's closed. That old lady gang is closed too.
Is it? It's done?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's closed, but then again, she doesn't have time for that.
Now. Yeah, she's on
she
Broadway.
doesn't. She doesn't.
But Denzel Washington, look at the name she's working with right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I wish the cameras were following her as a friend of. Like, she could be kept as a friend of.
You're
That shows up, that she invites them for a trip to New York City for the opening of the play, or just to watch a rehearsal.
She didn't want it. I'm sure she didn't want it. Like, she didn't want to have to.
Well, we know why.
Phaedra came back.
Yeah. But Phaedra wasn't coming back until they put Kenya on pause. That's the only reason Phaedra came back, is because Candy wasn't there. Yeah, Phaedra wasn't coming back. No, she we haven't seen her yet. We're not going to see her until Kenya goes on pause.
I did not know that.
Yes.
That's true. But Candy has instincts. The relationship between Phaedra and the network.
Yeah, because she came on Married to Medicine.
Well, she got a revival in Traders, when she came in Traders.
Yes, she did.
That was her lifeline. She grabbed it. She was funny. She was everything. And she was the only housewife. I did. She was the only housewife that was set to be a trader. The only way for you to really win something in the show or thrive in the show is to be a trader, because you can kill. What they did after Phaedra, they started killing the housewives. Like this last season of Traders, the first one was Dorinda. Then it was Chanel Ayan. They went housewife after housewife. The only one that survived was Dolores, not for her accolades. She voted 8 times out of 10 wrong.
Yes, she did. She did.
Was she a traitor on the show, Dolores?
No, she was a faithful.
She was a faithful. Yeah, the faithfuls, they won. So this is when she came back, and they put her in Married to Medicine. Such an odd,
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, even I don't watch the show, but was it Simone who was on Watch What Happens Live? Like, she's like, she didn't,
I do watch the show. Oh, God.
Cousin Gina loves the show.
Cousin Gina
loved Married to Medicine.
I used to love
We should give
Married
you
to
and Cousin
Medicine
Gina
before.
your own show so you can
Yeah.
We'll just sit here and listen.
Ever since they brought Heavenly, the show became violent.
Oh,
well, verbally.
That's not good.
And yeah, she goes
doctors
low.
For crying out sad.
Well, yeah. She does the dirty work of Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, like Dr. Jackie. She's evil.
Really?
God, she had such a good edit the first seasons, but then when some, I don't know what happened, but like when she had she had a problem with Simone because of I remember Mariah. Mariah was pleading because she was accused of doing drugs, and she did that hair test. Like there's a hair test that like unequivocally, and she begged Dr. Jackie to read. She wouldn't read the test results to give validation to Mariah to clear her name. This is
terrible.
Wow.
That is terrible.
And Mariah, she's the creator of the show. Now you see the credits, Mariah's name isn't there, but I don't think she's making the money that she's supposed to make. They don't cast her. They took her out, and it was like because she enabled Quad, and then Quad became a fan favorite. She was never my favorite. She was my favorite when she was in good graces with Mariah, because they were good. They were playing together. When they started like fighting with each other, this is when all hell broke loose in that show. And Dr. Jackie, she's horrible. Heavenly does her dirty work. She enables Heavenly, but she holds everybody else to a different standard. She wants to play as if like she is the peacemaker. She's not. She's not. Well, the show, yeah, I feel like they need to take Jackie out.
Yeah.
Bring other doctors, maybe. I like when they do their doctor work in the communities, because this is where, like, this is why the show was made of.
Yeah.
And
Right.
to showcase, like, there are Black doctors in
Yeah.
Atlanta doing the
Female,
work for
women.
underprivileged, even the men, I love the men of Married to Medicine. I really do, because they play part on the show. They're supporting characters, but when they come to the reunion, that's one of my favorite parts, because they have conflict and resolution. They never leave. Like, even now, King, he is open to talking to Dr. Greg, but Quad is not open to having them around. And she's telling the group, you guys can lose me. And I hope they lose her. Like, she's not Married to Medicine. I would love to see Quad in Atlanta. I really would. She would be a perfect fit right now.
Yeah.
For Atlanta. Bring her to Atlanta. And let her go after Phaedra over there.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of Bravo here.
But yeah, this is probably the longest podcast we've ever had, or at
I am
least in a
sorry.
very long time. No, that's good. We
It's all
covered a
good.
lot.
My fault.
We talked
Like, when
about
you,
a lot.
what is her name, Britt, the insurance owner?
Yeah.
I was gonna say she's the Black Vicky Govelson.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
he only
I
talked Bravo.
loved that. I loved that the 3 new additions are self-made women. Amazing.
I do too.
Okay, since we did like Bravo around the world, we cannot not say anything about Salt Lake City. Can we say something about Salt Lake? I know they're over.
But wait,
But
well,
do you
wait,
guys
but you know
think-
what? We'll save it for our next episode.
Okay.
Okay, we'll save it next episode. We'll talk about Salt Lake in addition to Atlanta. Going to thank our listeners for watching and listening. Please give us 5-star reviews and let us know what else you want us to talk about, because Miriam's here to talk about everything Bravo all the time. So put it in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye.